ordinance in place relating to travel expenses. How much we would pay per mile, how much we would pay for lodging, and we must develop a claim form or a standardized form that everyone in the county government is to use to submit for payment. We also would not be allowed to pay for entertainment as part of the travel expense. I'm not aware of anybody ever receiving entertainment, but this is an ordinance we'll need to have in place. The only thing I'm really aware of is people getting payment for travel. I don't know of any other.
What is that usual customary on that? Do you know?
Doesn't the IRS have a set
They
rate?
do have a
they
set
use?
rate, yes.
52?
I thought it was around 50 cents, yeah, I don't know the exact amount, which we could use.
Well, I don't think we're paying about 40 cents.
Yeah. But it's up to, the board to establish that.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. If you want to use the IRS rate, you can. Well, if you want me, I can begin preparing the ordinance, and then when we come to the parts where you need to decide the specifics of, we can discuss that more.
That should be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Just we need to get it sometime next month.
More stuff they want you to do.
Right. I think that's all I had.
I have a question on the IRS.
Sure.
Information that Joe received.
Yes.
Is there something in there that we have to do as a board also?
Yes, and I apologize, I don't have that in front of me, but there is a resolution that needs to be passed after it's basically every 2 years for us, which states that county commissioners can participate in IMRS as long as they work 600 hours toward the position and they document that work.
So is that something we have to get done by December or in December?
It would be in December after the swearing in would occur.
Just do that once a year then, so.
You have to pass a resolution once every 2 years after the election of the commissioner. But the documentation is to be sent monthly, or to be done monthly, and then they can request it, is the way I understand it.
So we'd have to average about, what, 50 hours a month? Is
50
that
hours a
correct?
month, that's right. And just over
Well,
10 a week.
I think we can do that, I just didn't want to fool with it.
Well, and you don't have to participate.
Or will you still get your,
No, you won't get your IMRF. I mean, you don't have to participate in IMRF, but you won't get it if you don't.
but I mean, I'll get what I've already made though.
I would assume that's correct, but I've not researched that part of it. This is a
What,
new
am I the
requirement.
only one that got one? You didn't get one of these, Jason.
Well, maybe I did, I just didn't see it. But I made a copy of
Well,
yours.
no, you not, well,
I made a copy of yours, so I'll approve it.
maybe it's had so many years and have to do that or something.
Yeah, but he's already won his second term, that's all it takes, isn't it? Once you
I
have
don't know,
to
was
two
it
terms.
8 or 10 when you came in? Because it used to be 8, and then now they moved it
Oh.
to 10, but I don't know where you came in. It was still 8 when
Well,
you
that
came
might
in.
explain it too.
But I think even if, from day one, if you're wanting to participate,
You
you've got.
still have to document.
Still have to document.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right.
What are we paying workers' comp out of liability?
No, workman's comp is workman's comp.
Oh, do we have a,
Uh-huh. But that's liability, that ICR, MT, or whatever it is.
that's one heck of a bill.
Yeah.
It's more workers' comp, isn't it?
No, that's for liability insurance.
I think there's two different bills, there's one for like 113 and another one for.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm looking at
150 something.
153,
Yeah.
okay. 117, this is workers' comp. Lori, thank you for being in Illinois. Is there any states that has workers' comp?
They made some improvements to the law, but we were in
We gotta be
the
in the
top
top.
5 of the top 5 employers, but that had been several years ago.
Big fund.
Did you need that back, or
No, the resolution, if you just
Yeah.
keep it with your records and then send them a copy.
Okay.
There was a claim I had that has a blue sticky note on it, I did need that today if I could get it.
Okay, just,
You just call me when it's ready, I'll pick
Okay.
it up. It should be somewhere circulating.
yeah, it's probably in those bills.
That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you much.
Thank you, Pat.
Good morning, Michelle.
Monday morning at 8:30 in Small Courtroom.
This coming Monday.
This coming Monday, I did get a petition filed by 5 individuals. There'll be 4 precincts retabbed, basically, is what it is.
You wanna redo that now?
I guess I do.
Good morning.
How are we?
There we go.
All right.
Any better than what we seen y'all a week ago?
I don't think I've seen you a week ago, but I get,
Hey, this young
I
man
get
over
better
there.
today.
I got a cold, I'm sick, so.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
I'm no better.
You're at your probably worst then, right?
Yeah, I guess.
One is that those votes now, are they counted precincts? And then you count them again
Well,
after
the
you get in?
early ones, absentees and voters are in my office.
Yeah.
We counted.
Then you count one on the vote night again, that night?
Well, we count them all. The precinct brings in theirs, and then the ones that were in my office, I have, 3 ladies come in that are judges that take care of that.
But I mean, the ones that come in for the precincts are just counted one
Yeah,
before this final.
yeah. I assume that's what you all are here to find out about, the recount.
There was a recount.
There's gonna be,
There's going to be a
yeah.
recount. We'll work at that taken out of my check.
Nope, don't break it. You break it, you buy it.
There is some conversation about what's next as far as courthouse renovations go, I'm assuming.
So right now, we've got the recount coming up Monday, at 8:30 here in the courthouse. There was a petition filed yesterday by 5 individuals to get a recount done on 4 precincts.
Will it be a matter of just like sending all the ballots
Yeah, it's
through
just,
the
it's basically a retab.
retail?
We just send all the ballots through the machines.
You won't be like checking
Again.
for initials on ballots and things like
No.
that?
So in essence, it'll be just what you did last week.
Exactly.
Just running through the same 30-minute process or whatever it was.
Well, it might take a little longer because there's 4 precincts, but yeah, it'll be just running them through the machine. Making sure that they all come up with the same amount they came up with last time.
What 4 precincts will it be?
7, 14, 16, and 17.
Got names of those or off the top of your head?
East
Grant.
Brookland, Grant, Jefferson, and Adkins.
Grant your BE, right?
Grant, Jefferson, and Adkins are all big ones. So yeah, it's gonna take a little time to run those through.
So you just resubmit those ballots into the machines, that's
Right.
what you've already said?
Yeah.
Okay. You've already done a recanvass, correct?
We've done a retab on one particular, the canvas is done, yeah. The election vote is certified, so, you know, without any discovery, nothing else will happen.
Gotcha.
they'll be there, but they cannot go further.
Just curious.
So is it public knowledge is, or who files the petition, or is
Oh,
that?
yeah, and it's over in the office, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head right
Oh,
now.
they're all done.
Yeah.
You said it was a combination of, 5 individuals.
Mhm. Yeah, it takes 5 to do it.
It takes 5 individuals.
Yeah.
You don't suspect there to be any room for abnormalities or?
I don't look for anything, being, everything's electronic now, and I was told that by everything being electronic, it will more than likely come out the same way. Used to years ago, when everything was hand counted, it might have been different, but
I guess it makes the process quicker too, doesn't it?
Yes.
Going through that way.
yes,
How long have you, are you the county clerk?
yes,
How long have you been county clerk?
2 years.
2 years, never had a recount.
I worked for John Taylor for 10 years prior to me taking over when he retired.
And never dealt with a recount.
I was told yesterday that someone recalled one being done when, Paul Wayne Summers was the county clerk. That's been a long time ago.
Get my amount.
Yes.
Okay.
Where'd you get all that money?
Scraped it up a little bit. Wish we could get some more.
Yeah.
But it's getting ready to start all over again for the month, so.
Have we got 3 payrolls this month?
Next month.
December?
December, yeah.
Tell me.
Do what?
Tell 'em who
You should know.
I hadn't looked that far in advance.
Anything good going on?
Just normal stuff.
What'd you say the tax sale was?
We haven't set the date yet. It'll be sometime in February, we're hoping.
Oh, please don't make it in March.
I will make sure that Judy knows that. I think Pike and Fight probably needs it to be done before March, so they can get their stuff going, so. And then
We're born in March.
I tried to
Sorry,
email-
Michelle.
Dana, I tried to email that stuff to Sarah yesterday, and it never did go through.
Okay. Here, you want to forward?
You wanna talk to him?
chairman, I thought he was wanting to talk to you.
I talked to Barnhill yesterday. He says he's sending that bill right away. We never get it, did we?
I've never seen the bill. We need to get something worked out with public defender. I think her last day is this week.
Well, he was taking applications. What do you want to see him for? Is it about if he hired anybody?
Well, the issue is money. Is how much to pay that person. You know, what we've been paying is underpaid compared to other counties similar to our size. I think he's recommending like 56,000,
I believe so.
52 for the assistant, or not assistant, but just another public defender.
Yeah.
I think right now we're in the 40 range. So,
She made 56.
she made the 40,000 range.
He said we're gonna pay 56.
Yeah.
He thinks for us to be able to get a viable attorney to be interested in the job, we're gonna have to be more competitive with their pricing. So, you know, we need to do something, because if we don't, you know, we're appointing attorneys that are charging us
Couple hundred.
$100 an hour. You know, that would be, that would make no sense.
I think it was him that said he thought Cord would be interested at 56 if we made up the back pay that we owed him.
I don't know about that, but we need to get something done.
I'll see if I can get a hold of Patrick. The judge was telling me about a grant that's supposed to reimburse some of that money. I know
That's true.
we are getting some of that grant, correct?
Yeah, we get, I believe it's 75% of his salary reimbursed,
I mean,
75% for the public defender, not the other person.
come on up, Ted, we'll get you over with.
I'll have some sheets for Sandy gets back.
That's good.
Very good. We'll back it up today. Hopefully next week. We'll come back.
Maybe just put her on some medicine, clean your arteries out. Joe, they heard you had a lot on the agenda, so they came today, Channel 6.
Sit down. Sit down right there. I like to sit in this chair. I'm done, see. You are. This one's just as low, isn't it? I got your text, when we're done here, if you want. That'd be good.
Go ahead, we'll work on that.
Okay. I don't know, the order matters, but these are the normal end of the year resolutions that we make for, I'll just go over one by one so I can explain. The first one is the county maintenance resolution to the motor fuel tax money and to spend money on maintenance on our roads. We have to pass a resolution every year. And it goes along with the estimate I've done right here as to how much the amount is. It's a resolution in the amount of $149,000 to appropriate for maintenance on county roads. And this one, basically, if you pass it, it's just signed by and sealed by the county clerk. You don't have to sign that. That's 4 copies of everything you have to get signed.
Is there a motion to approve that?
That's the backup documentation.
Which one is it?
The county maintenance resolution.
Oh, I'll make a motion.
You second that,
I'll
Jason?
second that.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let me stack them up for Juanita, or you want them,
Yeah,
you wanna carry them over
I'll
there?
take this part, but, yeah, that sheet's that sign, I can see it. salary engineer program. The second is actually passing the resolution to appropriate the funds for salary and expenses. So,
What does it have your salary for each year for the next 6 years? Just show me.
well, every November, or they come out with a recommended engineer salary, and you have to be at a certain percentage of that to be in the program. This year, let's see, I don't know what the recommended number was, but I'm not up to 100% of it yet.
Right. You started out at what, 95?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm to 98 or 99 this
Okay.
year.
So they come out with that this month or December?
Yeah, I just got the letter, about a week ago. This year it's I think it was a 1.5% raise over last year.
There were several years there wasn't any raise, I think. That might have been pre your time, though.
Yeah. I think last year was a 1%, this one is just like 1.5.
Jason, you in favor of that?
Yeah.
Is that a motion, sir?
I'll make a motion on that.
Cheryl, would you like to second?
I'll second that.
All in favor, aye?
That one,
This is
the
existing.
agreement you have to sign, the other one, Washington has to sign. It's on, this is a two-page agreement, there's 4 copies of it, and you just sign it. Board members, chairman. The third and final resolution is a resolution to where we transfer money from our county motor fuel tax to the county unit road district motor fuel tax in order to better take care of the road district roads. Because as you know, we have a bunch more miles of road district roads than we do county roads. This is allowed per a section of the law that's stated in here in the Illinois Highway Code, that up to 30% of the anticipated allotments can be transferred from county motor fuel to township motor fuel, in other words, so we can take care of the system better. This year, our projected allotments for county motor fuel will allow us to transfer $80,000, and that's what this resolution is for. Like year before last was 90,000, last year was 75,000, this year is 80,000, so we're hovering around the same number. It's just what our projected allotments are, so, this I'm asking for a resolution, to pass a resolution on being able to transfer 80,000 from county motor fuel to township motor fuel for our system.
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor, aye? Opposed? There was nothing on there for Juanita to sign, was there? I didn't see the full one.
This agreement, like I said, the other one has to be passed every year. This has to be passed every 6 years. I don't know why it got off as far as
Yeah.
per my contract. I mean, I think it was the same with Larry. It was in for some reason. Maybe next time my contract's up, maybe we'll do this again, so it's on the same,
Yeah.
same rotation, that we don't have to reinvent the wheel every alternate year, just do it all the same year.
You're not planning on retiring at the end of your contract?
No, I don't think so. I wish I could, but no, I can't. I can't retire.
You do know that my name is wrong on all of these, right?
No, I don't.
I didn't even look. Was it spelled wrong?
No, 20 to Wedekind, 20 to Wedekind, Newbie,
Right,
hyphenated.
okay.
You're in trouble, mister.
Okay.
Do you wanna reprint them?
I mean, I'm signing on my legal name, so,
Yeah, I'd say it'd be fine, yeah, I'll remember, I'll put that down, remember that next time.
noticed it the last time, I thought, well, just an oversight, but, and all of these have got,
You just couldn't take it no more.
it's been taken more,
I know how it is to get your last name wrong.
I bet you do.
And this doesn't require anything, this, I'm just turning in, my attempt at the 2017 budget. Yeah, do this every fall as well, so you guys can include them in your budget.
Thank you, sir. Now tell us how good a shape the roads are in.
Well, I don't think they're bad, but I think public opinion is a little different. Had lots of complaints the last couple of days.
Gravel roads or farm chip or?
People were in the office yesterday complaining that we grade roads because it makes them muddy. People are in my office complaining that we don't grade roads because they're washboarded. People complain that we cut ditches, people complain that we don't cut ditches. People complain that there's too much brush on the sides of the road. People complain that we cut brush on the sides of the road because it makes their property ugly. I can't win,
They're
but
just not happy.
we're just doing what we do, and we'll do the best that we can and try to treat everybody the same, and, you know, I'm sorry that it offends people and people hate it, but I don't know what else to do, so we're just doing the best job we can, and
There you go.
Joe, to go along what you're talking about, Walnut Ridge, did you get any complaints on it?
could you do what?
Get any complaints on Walnut Ridge?
Who's that?
I think Newfoundland did.
No. Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
About muddy
Okay.
roads or?
Yeah, I think you,
Rice Hill
the old
Road.
store and go toward Salmon.
Oh, okay.
A lot of complaints on Rice Hill Road, which is up in that area.
Well, I think both of them, he mentioned Rice Hill, they graded them and evidently they went on to the ditch so that they could drain, the road would drain, and I guess it brought a little bit of dirt out in the road maybe.
Yeah.
That, well, they're not complaining about that, they want to know if you're gonna pay rock on
Well, we did yesterday.
it. Okay.
We spent.
That solves that then, because
Yeah,
we
we-
called like Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, all day yesterday, we spent on Rice Hill Road, on Staten Ridge Road, and on
Yeah.
Fritz Cordy Road. Actually putting rock now, because that, from time to time, we do have to do work on the shoulders so that the water will drain off the road into the ditches, or at least drain off the road to the sides of the road, instead of sitting in the middle.
Right.
And when we do that, just like you said, a lot of dirt gets into the gravel as well, and the first couple of times that it rains, it is.
It is
a
a
mess.
I know.
And I'm not gonna deny that, and I hate to do that, it's just maintenance that we have to do on a gravel road, I mean, and, you know, we are putting rock down
Yeah.
as we speak now, just to make it better.
Rice Hill, right forward, I guess interstate maybe, on the right, I think they graded the road down on the south side down to the ditch, so that water would run off in there. And this guy didn't like that, I was up there, I saw that it is, graded off, but, I mean, you gotta get the water to the ditch.
People up on Fritz Cordy were irate yesterday about the same thing, we graded,
After it rained.
just graded the sides of the road so that water would drain off, they didn't want us to do that.
Well, did it bring clumps up in the road, is that what they're aggravated about?
Well, they're aggravated about all of that, it brought dirt into the road, but, and also, they didn't like us cutting the shoulders off, cause it, I guess, it made it ugly, I guess. I
That
don't
makes the
know.
road wider.
They didn't like that. And that's what I'm saying, you can't win for losing. I mean, some people say the roads are too narrow, some people say you don't need to be out there, you need to keep it narrow. I mean, it's just,
Well, And did you put CA6 on all these roads?
We're mixing CA5 and 6, because it seems like
I'll agree with that.
when
I
we
think-
get it from the quarry, the CA6 got too much fines in it.
I know.
And the CA5 is too coarse.
It won't stay.
Yeah.
It's too
Well,
clean, isn't
the
it?
CA5 is clean, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well, you know,
it's
if you
bigger,
got,
it's bigger.
yeah, if you've got a muddy spot or a dirty spot, that 5 would, it'll shove it down in there and it'd work great. I believe.
Yeah,
It's good base rock.
yeah, it is. So we're trying to mix it, and it'd be a little bit better there, you know. CA5 is more expensive though, I mean, it's
Is it-
probably $1 a ton more, because it's clean, you know.
I went downtown and scooped up a driveway on a FEMA house that they had to get rid of. In fact, they did it, this contractor and I they did it to me. And it had like CA5 with fines. Must have come from another quarry. I don't think they have that right here, do they?
Is it old rock or was it?
Yeah, it's old.
Yeah.
I mean, that rock, well,
They got a bunch
about
of
that
different-
size.
got a bunch of different grades, but I don't know what gradation that would be.
I don't think I've seen it down. But now that would work, I think, as a base, better than the CA6, you know, and still hold it together. But on a muddy spot, you're better off with a clean rock, I believe, plus you get more rock every time.
You can theoretically scatter it thinner,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Yeah. Well, you just, you know, it doesn't lay as tight, but you just get more rock, I believe, don't you, for yard or town
I mean, you just, yeah, you don't really get more, I mean, a ton is a ton, but it's
It
bigger
goes-
volume
it
because
goes
it's
further.
not packed as tight,
or. Uh-huh.
you know. The loose volume is bigger, you know.
Yeah. And if you can get that in the, you know, down in the road, why, you really don't notice it.
So, all right,
I think you're
I'm-
doing good.
I mean, you guys will probably get some calls, I mean, when people left my office yesterday, they said, well, really, we ought to be getting to our commissioners, and I said, well, really don't matter, because it'll come to me if you go to them, I said, you might as well just come straight here and not bother them, but, I don't know, they might get with you all, but
Is that plaque still on the wall out there, county, or did Glasgow take it?
which one?
It said, I don't know the answer to success, but I do know the answer to failure, try to please everyone.
Yeah.
Is it still there?
No, it's not, I don't know where it went to, he might have taken it. I haven't seen it before, though,
Yeah.
yet. Yeah, whatever, if you guys, all right, if you need anything, if you need us to address anything, try our best.
I think that was Steve, Smith, I think they called him up that road, you know Steve? That's Burl boy.
Is it the T at the,
Yeah,
at the intersection there?
it just sounded like him, he told me his name, but I can't get it. I thought it sounded like Steve Smith, and he's in that area, I guess he farms probably down in there some.
Okay, we're out, yeah, right now, we're out grading today. And putting rock down today, and we're also doing some brush cutting today.
And some mechanic.
A lot of mechanical goes on.
See you later.
All right.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
You don't even wanna stick around this? We'll be right back.
No, I asked him if that corner surcharge money would work, because there's 13,000 in that. It's supposed to be finding out from Patrick.
What, do you wanna use one, or do you want $10,000?
Two of them, 5,000 apiece.
Yeah. We'd like to be able to get one for nothing.
A little pricey, yeah, we need to at least ask, don't we?
You
know
gonna
the
ask
guy
her,
out there?
you gonna ask at the hospital?
I don't know.
Tony,
He seems to be the man, don't he?
you call him right now?
How about I send him a text to see
Okay.
if he's ready?
Another thing, Brett Jenkins
we tell him not to do it, you know, it's gonna be his, because he takes over Thursday. And he don't have nothing, you know what I mean? He has, unless he, you know, gets a box spring and a mattress and throws them on that. You know, I
Well,
would-
we've already given permission by the band, haven't we?
Well, I mean, we just gonna make sure we have the funds, but
Yeah.
the way I understand it, that corner surcharge funds might not be available for that, it might just be available for his office stuff, which is kind of a kicker, because we have 13,000 in the county.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna have to,
Well, if Tony gonna call you back, what's to do with that?
Oh, I didn't pester him, I didn't know what's going on.
But on the liquor license now, you all have to approve those,
Get
right? A
somebody
new
to
liquor
Give
license?
some information.
well, did we already approved the license a while back.
You talking about the ordinance, or what?
No, I'm talking when somebody applies for a new liquor license, don't you all have to approve it?
Well, according to the ordinance, I mean, we can't
That's
just.
what I thought.
We can't just, as my understanding, we can't just say, well, we don't like you, so we're not gonna grant you one.
Right, but I mean,
If they,
But there's additional paperwork now they gotta fill out that they didn't in the past.
right, and doesn't that have to be ran through you all?
Well, I think some of it was ran through the sheriff's department, I think some of it's a check.
background check. and
Background
stuff.
check and stuff,
Okay, but that all has to be done prior to giving out the license.
That's correct.
That's what I'm saying.
yes.
Okay. Charlie Icahn is going to apply for one. He was on his way to Springfield to go ahead and get it, because he just thought it was gonna be an automatic thing. And so he
Well, I mean,
was
it probably
not.
would be, but
But it's gotta come
In
through
the
here
county?
first. It's in the city, but
wouldn't he get
You
that from
don't
the
have-
mayor?
We don't have.
the
anything
one
to
they
do
brought
with
in said Massac County.
I heard his business was going in right down past Fat Ed's on the right. It was gonna be selling wine and cheese and have some slot machines in there.
Okay.
So I would think that would be,
a
mayor.
The city, yeah.
We've
Mayor,
never
okay.
had anything to do with the cities.
yeah.
Okay.
I think that would be his
That'd be
responsibility.
the mayor.
Okay, well, she
The
came,
liquor.
Ann came in a while ago, and I told her, I said, I'm pretty sure all new licenses have to go through you all, but if it's city, that's something totally different.
If,
That's where I heard his business was going, I could be wrong.
No, it is in the city,
Okay.
but like I said, the application had Massac County on it.
I'd maybe call the mayor's office and just ask them,
Okay,
ask the lady.
okay.
four packer, well,
Yeah. But, yeah, I heard, which.
our ordinance specifically states that only outside of the corporate city limits, I think.
Okay.
And I thought they only had a limited number of licenses in the city. I don't know if he had to buy an existing license, like transfer. I thought there was just a limit of how many they had
I don't know.
in the city.
I will get more information, but like I say, I did not know, and I didn't wanna do it wrong.
Right. Well, with senior people is, they work in the detention office, you know, the detention center side, so if we got rid of those, you know, let's say there was layoffs, those two people, 2 or 3 or whatever it is, gets laid off, you have to pull deputies to fill that spot. What's your own thoughts on that? How many deputies are you down to if we do that?
I'd have to replace them two.
Huh?
I'd have to replace those two deputies. We've only got 6 on the road now.
So, you're saying if we had a layoff of the lowest 2 senior people, it's the detention center, correct? So the deputies would have to be brought over to that side.
You know, I can't run the jail short, I gotta have somebody there all the time, so.
Right. So you would go down to 4 people as deputies?
With both road deputies, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, anybody that we lay off there, according to the agreement you had with the union, then those 2 guys in the courthouse, in the annex,
They'll be the first two, correct?
and then the drug task force officer. has to
Yeah,
go.
that's what the gentleman works for, Patrick.
Ted, are you still out there on the interstate?
As much as we were, no.
But had these layoffs, you won't be out there at all.
No.
Ted's budget than it is Juanita's, or Juanita's out of Ted's.
Mhm.
Well, what about these people that have two people working? They can't go down to one,
Meaning,
state's attorney. There's one of them's gotta be in court, I think, all the time, don't they? Becky, and then,
I don't know that Becky ever goes to court, does she?
Back
I
to
think,
court,
I think
yeah.
she assists
She
track
does,
court on
clerk on-
Thursdays, whatever
they're
day.
all, gone all the time down there. That just leaves Kayla out there. I think you're going to examine this deal pretty heavy. But Ted, I mean, sometimes he makes pretty good money out there on the interstate. I can't really see getting rid of, somebody that's making this thing.
So with her latest letter, you know, the one that you sent to Joe Jackson, the deadline is December 2016, so so what's our plan there, and what do you know?
Well, as far as I know, they're asking for an extension, are they not?
But the way I understand it, they're gonna give us an extension if we have a plan. So what is our plan?
I believe our plan was to adjust budgets likewise.
But we're gonna have to get another extension on it because it's gonna take longer to get this money together.
I think so. I don't know, you know, and I don't know what they're, who knows what the courts are feeling as far as extensions.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a one-year fix, that's for
No.
certain.
No.
So the first thing would be, obviously, to get the roof correct. And then the tuck pointing, which,
We need to do that first.
but the tuck pointing, the way I understand it, it's not necessary on the whole building, just the upper half
That's
or
what
the
I-
portions.
Would you guys like to rebid that and be more specific with exactly what?
Well, I think we ought to talk to this guy, you know, talk to you and I. Did you get this card? It said that we could repair those cracks and seal it. He said that's all we're gonna do anyway. You can tuck point the whole building.
It's not necessary.
Well, there's a lot of those, joints that aren't leaking.
That's right, so I mean, it's
So
not
if we can
necessary.
just fix those cracks, and, it's gotta be, pressure washed. And then sealed, and this guy told, Jeff and I that it'd have to be resealed, I think every 15 years, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
And he said it doesn't matter, because it's gotta be resealed anyway, if you tuck point or not. So I think we'll talk to him and then maybe rebid that. Cause we really can't give it to him if he's not gonna do what we asked for.
Well, there was, all the different companies that contacted me to come look at the building were questioning what exactly we wanted done.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me think that it should have been more
I mean, it's
specific.
not leaking anywhere but a top floor. And just below that top wall, I mean, it's all leaking in the ceiling.
About from there up.
Yep. Except maybe for that room in the back of the large floor. So I think we're gonna do a lot of stuff we don't need. This guy said he worked in St. Louis, been doing it for years and everything. He said it doesn't need tuck pointing.
Will we call him and get him down here?
Well, did you get your card?
I have it somewhere, yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, if you can give him that card, I'll get him
We
down
need to
here.
get, you know, him down.
You were
here.
absent that day, so
Yes.
you need to hear him.
Yeah, but, you know, we gotta move forward. Do you think for $125,000, we can get that sealed and that tuck pointed?
Well, that one outfit was gonna do the whole building for $273, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So I would think maybe close to that.
And the roof, what do you think, 125?
I'm afraid to take a guess at this point. What was the second, we got two bids to put the roof on, do you remember?
20,000 more.
Yeah, I think it was like,
Roughly 110 or 115?
118, 115, something like that.
Okay, if that was the bid for the roof, my answer is gonna be no, I don't think we can do it for 125, cause I think we're gonna find damage, don't you? I'm confident we will.
Yeah, I do. Plus, he didn't replace some of those panels, I don't think, that maybe needed to be replaced. Of course, that was on him, that wouldn't affect us.
Now, I talked to Patrick, and he says, in his opinion, the asbestos and the mold can be paid for out of the tort fund. So that would address the issue in a large courtroom, you know, where the asbestos is. It would address the issue in the probation office where the mold was. And then Larry Grace had some mold in the circuit clerk's office where the vault was. There's also some asbestos down there in the basement in that room where they usually do the audit, right?
Well, I think, yes, asbestos.
So if we can get, all those issues would be taken care of out of the tort fund. You wouldn't have to worry about that out of the general fund. So that would leave, you know, the state's attorney, probation office, public defender, the large courtroom and the circuit clerk, just for cosmetic issues. You know how the roof or the ceilings are flaking and stuff like that. I was just trying to think if we could come up with a plan to get the court system, you know, back here so we have something that we can provide to the judge. And, my thought was, why don't we wait 6 months or something before we have a layoff and, anticipate on the property taxes and have enough money to get this done between that and the tort fund. That should address most of those issues. And then, you know, EEI kept telling us that they're gonna be paying $400,000 a year on that 1%. Well, if that's the case, we should be receiving $41,000 a month on 1.25% that we're already receiving. So maybe that money's gonna start flushing in here, and they can help pay for that. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I mean, just looking at the history of the sales tax right now, I mean, October of 16, we received 46,000 total. The month before was 39,000, so I still don't believe that that number with EEI is correct. But let's give them 6 months and see if that sales tax really starts ramping back up.
Well, maybe bad weather will make that come up a little bit.
What do you think, Jeff? You think that sales tax is gonna ramp back up? I mean, they kept preaching at 400,000, didn't they?
That was the number they were saying, but far be it from me to tell you their business.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they went on record saying that, that's why they were against it. You know, so, obviously, we should be seeing that money here eventually, I would think.
You would hope so. I haven't asked, is the state somewhat current on their sales tax? Are we a couple months behind, or?
No, I texted Dana a while ago, and this month we received right around, it was around $50,000 total. So, I mean, you know, they usually lag a couple months
Yeah.
behind anyway. I mean, in November, we're probably receiving, August is
You know,
maybe-
September
yeah,
at
September,
best. Okay.
yeah.
Not that it matters, I mean,
but it's not like they owe us.
for 6 months.
Yeah.
That one time, it was 6 or 8 months, correct?
Yeah, there was. But, do you think that's an alternative to, I think for 3 or 4 years, we haven't borrowed from our property taxes. You know, we really try not to do that.
We've not done it at all since I've been here. Was that almost the norm for a while, wasn't it?
It was because the state was so far behind with us, we didn't really have a choice. You know, it was pretty rough. You know, there's a percentage of what we can get. It'd probably be a little over 300,000 or something maybe. It'd be close to, getting that. I mean, if we could get someone, I mean, there might be other options down the road. I mean, maybe if we get 6 months, there could be some other options that we could maybe
Yeah.
work out with somebody.
Hey, we were talking about possibilities is out there. When you all was doing that, who come up with the percentage or figure? Was that something that Patrick had to work out
What percentage?
as far as what you could go to borrow?
It's a state statute that I think a certain percent of what we can borrow on the property taxes, I think it's up to 80% of what you think. I mean, I'd have to double check with that.
Probably about 280,000.
Okay. You know, I'm not exactly sure on the figure, we'd have to look at it. It's just an option I'm throwing out there. Maybe something,
Possibly buy some time.
that, and at least we can get started on the work. I mean,
Yeah.
The longer
It's
we
only,
let,
it's only gonna get worse.
yeah, I mean, you know, just like we had a heavy rain yesterday, I mean, that's not good. on
Did
this
anybody
field.
go up there?
It'll, it'll,
No, but there
I mean, I
wasn't
was
any
sure it
leak
was,
down
but-
here by the, south door.
One
They
thing,
do
Coming
leak?
in, yeah, it was coming in.
the one thing about it, if we did anticipate the taxes, we would have that money right there, we could start on it. If we cut the budgets,
Yeah,
it's gonna
you
take
still gotta
time.
wait, yeah.
It's gonna take time for that money to build up. And, you know, that's it's an option, but we're gonna have to not quit talking about it and move forward. I mean, decisions have to be made.
The
So,
only thing, way we can do anything is borrow money. Too much money involved, we can't get a hold of it. No way we can generate it.
I mean, if we did reduce budgets over time, we could,
Well, yeah.
you know, but it's gonna take many, many years.
This water style, it's gonna ruin the whole business.
Come in, come in.
So,
Have a seat, sir.
I'm under the weather, Mike. Hope I'm not seeing you anytime soon.
Yeah.
First customer.
Yeah, I don't wanna be your first one.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So, what'd you learn?
Well, so far I've learned that monies can't be used except for office stuff and autopsy stuff.
You're just burning bad news, aren't you?
Yes.
Can't buy those gurneys with it. That's a gray area.
That's a gray area. I don't know about that, but you know, this starts Thursday.
Mike, would you be okay with you to buy a used cot
Yeah, a used cot,
or gurney?
if you can find them.
Well, we haven't even tried, but we've got a couple of things we're thinking about and might be able to get a couple of used ones.
Okay.
Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, but it's gotta be by Thursday.
I know.
I mean, yeah, he's gotta, you know, if he gets called Thursday morning, he's gotta be ready to
Yeah.
go.
Well, we'll find out today.
Okay. What about the coolers? Did you find out about, from the hospital? As far as?
Yes, we can use that spot.
Okay,
The way I understood it, Gerald said the board unanimously
Yeah.
voted to support it,
okay,
Yeah,
so we're good there.
okay.
get you that
So-
card to get in and out and everything.
Okay, so then we need to get busy and get the coolers bought, correct?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, get them coming.
okay.
I think really they'll be glad to get rid of that. It works, part of
So, the vehicle situation,
I think, I mean, we gotta get that van, we
Yeah.
gotta have transportation.
yeah,
I mean, $5,000 for a vehicle seems pretty reasonable.
yeah.
I'm sure it's been taken
And
care
it's
of.
quick, it's, yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be quick.
At least
We
set up,
can-
ready to go.
We can deal with.
We can deal with
later,
get
but-
something else later, you know, but at least get him something, but what he's gotta have is he's gotta have approval to spend that money.
Yeah.
That's where he's here, so.
So what do
Jeff,
we need to
what do
do,
you wanna do?
adjust it? It's not in it's not in the 16 budget, correct?
Right, but we're gonna have to make amendments or do something, because we're in a unique situation here.
Yeah.
The corner's always been taken care of due to the funeral home.
Yeah.
Now we're in a situation where we're just gonna have to, you know, incur some costs, which we haven't did in many, ever, really. The funeral homes really took care of us over the years. looks like he needs about $15,000 between the two cots, if they end up being new, and a van, it'd be 15,000, right? And your office equipment can come out of that
Mhm.
corner surcharge, right?
That's correct.
So,
How much money's in there again?
13,000.
Now, this computer you're gonna buy is gonna be a laptop, right?
I would, yeah.
I thought laptops got mounted in vans.
I don't have a problem. It don't make me no difference. That's just what they suggested to me up there. It's actually cheaper for a laptop than it is
Is it,
but that's why I was going to a laptop, but it
They're
doesn't
saying since
matter.
that van would be his office, is that what you're trying to say?
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, I don't know if office under those rules or not.
You're the corner, I'm not. I'm just,
And now I'm a new one, and I don't even got the
is that
guitar.
what you're talking about up at the bank?
that's a storage room. This is an office I'm talking about, a rolling office, Gerald. Keep an open mind.
Is that what they have? I mean,
Well, no, what he's trying to say is that the corner surcharge money can be used for office supplies.
Oh, I see.
So that van would
That's
be.
right, I believe that will work.
What the van would be, but I don't think it will, so.
I don't think so.
I don't want to get you in trouble
But,
per se,
yeah.
so, I don't know.
I just like, for instance, they're really screaming at me for a post office box. Well,
Yeah.
I gotta have money for that. So is that you, the one I need to see for that?
No, you just go and,
But they got to have.
oh, you need a
Yes.
check, yes, talk to Chrissy. We'll fill you out a claim and get
But
that.
then he, told me I really can't do nothing till you guys swear me in.
You're kind of rocking our place.
Yes, yeah, I can't.
Well,
all
Mark
I'm
could
gonna
probably
spend-
sign, put his name on a claim for
Yeah,
post,
we can-
post office.
Yeah, we can do that, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because
we'll
Mark
put it
and
on
After
claim.
this, can we talk, or will you point me in the right directions or something?
We'll get you taken care of.
Okay.
How about your,
You wanna text one of the girls and have them fill out a claim for the post
how
office
about
box?
the,
Yeah, he's gonna need
Yeah,
his
what's that
money
post
for
office?
the
I think it's
van,
like
he's gonna need his money
$64
for the.
75, wasn't it? I think they told me 75.
You're gonna need the money for the van right away too, right?
Yes.
yeah, he needs to get a van, he needs to get the cots.
Okay, so.
But, I mean, we can check, we could save up to 10,000, but you're gonna check a couple options today?
Yes,
Okay,
right away.
okay. So, but we need to have it up to 10 in case you gotta buy new, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, right now, we could get by with just one
okay.
until we, but I don't,
Or van,
huh?
van, one
Yes.
van.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
one-
one van, one cot right
Okay.
now. I think we can do, until we can, I mean, we're kinda in a emergency mode right
Right.
now, and we can deal with the others a little bit.
Okay, are you gonna order those and then we pay for them after you receive them? Or does the money have to be
I
up
think
front?
where they get their stuff, they've got, the coroner's office has an account set up
Okay.
with them, so I think I can just order them.
Okay, so right now you just need money for the PO box and the van,
Yes.
and we know the van is 5,000?
That's what I was told.
Okay,
Have you talked to them about this van?
No, I had, that was
I
the
mean, I'm
last
sure it's
meeting,
good.
they never mentioned nothing to that to me, I didn't know anything about that.
Mike, you might ought to measure that going all down in the hospital, but make sure the cooler will go in there and I guess we'll put it right
But
there where the old one.
the cooler that's there is working now for
Yeah,
emergency,
Yeah.
in case.
yeah. But, and they keep it full, they said about half the time.
Okay.
So, and another thing, I don't know how heavy that thing is, but we may have to get help to put that, install that
So
cooler.
I'm sure.
Read that text, I text Patrick a question, read what it said there. I need to change it there.
Okay. Okay,
So what do you think?
that sounds like,
But did you talk to him and you
Yeah.
thought it was the other way?
yeah,
I texted Patrick, I said, can the corner use the corner surcharge for the used van and two cots? And he said the money could be used for equipment, supplies, and operating expenses of the corner, so I would say yes.
so maybe we
If
can.
that's the case, and we can just use that account that has that money in it.
Okay. But I still gotta get
The money,
that?
yeah, I mean, she'll take care of it.
Okay.
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll fill out the claim, and you sign it, and then we'll just
So-
present it to them next week to have them sign, but you'll get checks today.
Okay,
If you come see me this afternoon, we'll get it all
Okay.
taken care of,
okay.
okay?
So is that how you read that? That's how I read it?
That ain't what I understood yesterday, but I'll call him
Yeah, verify.
and verify that.
Okay. So,
Cause he said office stuff and autopsy stuff is what you could,
okay, he's saying used for equipment, supplies, and operating
okay.
expenses.
And that's different, that, I would think that
Okay,
would fly then.
so he says yes, so we put it back on him.
Okay.
So we don't need a motion for them to be allowed the money then, because it's already there, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Mark may have to sign off, but you,
I can get with him.
Any other things we can help you with? I know you're kinda under the gun.
Yeah, you know, I'm still, they're supposed to be putting in a phone number up there, that's, everybody's talking about that, and fax numbers and that, and they're trying to get all that in there.
Well, I mean, I guess everybody's wanting to make sure they get a hold of you.
Yeah,
And two, your vendors wanna make sure they know where to send the bills to.
yeah.
So, get all those people happy, I guess you need to
Okay.
check.
And if I have something else, I'll just make
Yeah,
contact
with one of us.
with one of yous and
We'll go from there.
we'll see what
It's gonna be a process for you,
this is.
because, you know, we're experiencing a lot of new costs that we haven't experienced in the past.
Exactly. It's all new, so.
Yeah. Hopefully, won't have much going on at the beginning.
Yeah,
Just kinda-
yeah, hopefully kind of slide in there.
Yeah.
Now, they did say that they would help me out for a short while to
Have you
help
made a
with-
decision, are you gonna have anyone to help you, is it like
Yes.
assistance?
Yes.
Do you wanna say who that is, or you wanna wait?
Yeah, Keith Stokes
Okay.
is going to help me, and, I don't know, until we get our feet on the ground, see what we need. Well, I understand you would, in a county of this many people, you would want 2 deputies.
Mhm.
So, I'm just reading what
Yeah.
other coroner's office say,
I mean,
there's
Mark-
guidelines for the
Mark had 2.
population.
I think he had, Chad Chandler and, Craig Russell.
Yeah, I think that's right, so.
All right. Well, if we can be any more help,
Okay, I'm sure I'll be burning his phone.
just follow up with
And
her.
I'll-
And I need you to fill out paperwork for payroll, and I will need Keith to do so as well.
Okay,
And if you get anybody else,
okay, have them too.
likewise,
yeah.
Okay.
And, preferably by Thursday, because she will start working on, well, y'all won't get paid till the end of the month, but
Okay,
she will start working on payroll.
okay. Okey-doke,
Thank you.
that's all we need from me.
I think so.
Okay.
Be careful.
Gerald learned anything on the cod, so I'll just call him.
Yeah.
I went call right now.
Just make sure that they're the right height. Because there's several.
What you up to?
We about to wear Patrick out.
Yeah.
I was asking him the same questions.
Yeah, poor guy, yeah.
Since I missed the longer discussion about all this the last couple of weeks, I heard I thought I should come in, get in on it too.
Oh, okay. Come on in.
Yeah, don't sit back here and hide.
You started basketball games yet?
We played Caro Saturday. They had been, after they had been played New Madrid at 2:30. That helped.
They worn down, huh?
They were down. Then we got a week off. Our schedule's kind of goofy, so we it's next Tuesday. I'm bringing money.
I know, I seen that on the report, you got a refund.
$247.07.
$247,070.
No. 47.
Was it a line item on, benefits that we overpaid?
Yeah, we were invoicing along, and then, where, we haven't been fully staffed at all times this year, as we've had people come and go, so just hadn't compared the numbers, we're trying to get that all done. state superintendent was down here, at first of November, week before the election, this week, out of the grade school, and, wanted it low-key, and it was, but I think he had a good, he was wanting to see and talk with students, staff on the ground, don't make a big fuss, and I think he enjoyed his half hour here, and he stayed the night, night before, so got his business for that too, I guess.
Good.
As he made his way, we went from here to Vienna to Century to Cairo, and then spent another day up in Marion and before we went back north, so, his first visit in our region to that extent. And, seemed like a good response both ways. Guess we listened to a little bit of a Spanish lesson for fourth graders while we were out there, so they were doing that as well as, the English part. Turner School's going, also, I had talked last time, we did have, an application and I hired, Mike Worthen to be the, part-time truancy officer for the county, so that spot's filled now, so we're in good shape there. Now I'm back to, I guess this is an honor, my, bookkeeper I've had for a year and a half was approached by the Auditor General's office to come work for them. So I guess as a former high-risk client before I came into office, we continued to do the job we're supposed to, and we impressed them. The problem is now I gotta find somebody. So she's moving on up to Springfield, and just when I think I've
You're
got-
out your help.
Yeah. Just when I think I have everybody hired and filled, one more to go. And she wasn't looking, but they approached her, so we'll take that. Otherwise, goodness gracious, it's almost December.
I got a question with school bus safety.
Mhm.
When there's an incident,
Mhm.
what is the criteria for, I guess I would say dismissal of a school bus driver, or, you know, repercussions of bad reports on school bus drivers? I had a guy ask me about that. There was an incident probably a month and a half ago here, and I can verify that this particular bus driver thinks she's in a NASCAR.
I would suppose, besides law enforcement, and, report to Secretary of State's office, we conduct the training, but, accidents like that aren't reported through us, they're reported through law enforcement. And then, in this case, it would be up to the contractor.
Disciplinary action.
For whatever, just like it would if you had somebody driving a semi or delivery or something like that. You do have the same contractor, that was down in Chattanooga. So.
Durham, isn't it?
So, they've been looked at a little bit more even nationally. I don't know that their numbers are any much different than any other contractors. But complaints would go to the bus company to investigate, just a normal complaint, even if there hadn't been an incident, would go there. And then they do have CDLs. So, whatever, which is the heightened standard, they've been on the last couple of years, which is also just this push and pull, one more barrier to finding enough bus drivers.
Yeah, I know it's a challenge, but we also need our kids to be safe.
Right, and that's the most important. And that's sort of the push-pull. In the middle of the state, Bloomington area, actually, they've had a hard time, and even where they've tried to pay more, finding enough drivers just to cover. And you start hearing, well, we need to make it easier to do this, but you're right, you're right back to there's a reason those
Safety
rules and mandates are in there, to address those things. And even, especially the large companies, they've got software, I think they're tracked even more now than they ever have been. I don't know if these buses have the signals on them telling you where they are at incident, if they weren't on the road they were supposed to be on, is that something that feeds right back to the dispatch? I don't know, that may be something,
GPS?
kinda like security cameras, sometimes you just happen to figure out what happened, not that they're watched right then. And then there's maximum speeds on those buses, but that's not gonna be what you're picking up on a normal daily bus route, that's more when we're doing field trips out on the interstate.
Ted, do you remember that incident when your guys called to that, or do you know?
I mean, that one, I don't remember, no. We're all the time getting calls, people saying buses are speeding, but it's hard to be at the right place, at the right time, and clock one.
And even my dad and I had this conversation last week after that incident. He talked about bus going down their street. And even the way those buses are geared now, and they're mostly all automatics, where they sound underpowered, if you get into it at all, when I was young, when everything was a standard transmission, you couldn't get the bus going very fast between stops because you were still shifting through the gears.
Yeah.
Man, they was gas burners.
And they were gas burners, yeah. So, it
They was underpowered.
right, and it even sounds different. I mean, when you hear it winding up as they go down the road. But the one incident was, what, the van drove under out on 145, I think. That was the what? There was a incident 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Last week.
Last week. Turning out, they're out on 145.
Michael's Equipment Company, right in
Okay.
front of it.
Okay.
And Westview Road?
No, Marion Road.
I saw a picture, but I guess the,
Would somebody have a fender bender with a bus or a van?
Yeah, well,
Bus.
it's a van and a bus.
with the school bus, were they turning or were they,
Crossing the road or something?
I think the van was turning, I've been bus's fault. Well, it's like the second or third wreck we've had this year, the school bus. I mean, if the speed limit's 55 and people see a bus going 55 mile an hour, it just sounds and looks like it's going faster than what it is.
Yeah. But there's also speed limits and there's safe speed.
I agree.
and too fast for conditions or not?
It's not a goal, it's a limit.
Yeah, I will say for Durham and the different places they are, we do the standard safety training that the state requires. They do go above and beyond that. And even when they came in this summer, they used our building, for several days for doing additional training with the drivers. So they do at least offer that and push that, but I'm sure they have their, like all contractors have their profit margins and the way they, are trying to keep costs down. But we wanna do it as safely as possible.
I would just, I'll pass along the information.
Anything else?
No.
They have not sent me the form yet, but I talked to Mr. Smith this morning and I'll run by. I'm gonna be down here for a good part of the day, so I'll get them to you for the end of the day.
Thank you.
Also, for anybody else, besides school board seats being on the ballot in April, the Regional Board of School Trustees, which is the body that decides annexation and detachments, is also on the ballot this time. I think it takes 50 signatures on a petition. Each county, all 7 members are up this time because this is the last step of the consolidation.
Who's the representatives from that?
Right now, it's Sue Barfield and Todd Sumner. We'll be reaching out to, hopefully they choose to run again. But Massac County would have at least one, no matter. And if nobody from the county files, then we would be appointing one after they're seated. And those petitions get turned in Springfield because it's a multi-county region. So, anyway, thank you much.
Good. Thank you.
I think I told you wrong on the levies, Jason, because they have until the second Tuesday in December to turn them, to file them.
Okay.
So it would probably, I'm thinking it's December 30th. when we all have to-
You just observing, or you,
No.
nope, you wanna come on up?
I've got several questions, or a few questions for y'all. You're very big on the 1% tax, and I got some questions about the money that y'all have received. I didn't mark one for you, but there is one that's not marked. One of it. I'd like to know, since March 2014, you've got an increase of $51,000 a month from the state, for an average of $558,784 a year increase since March of 2014. Where has that money went to?
Look at your numbers there.
And these numbers came from the State of Internal Revenue Service, Illinois Department of Revenue. Anyone can go and pull these up. Since 2014, Massac County has received $1,676,352 extra and above what they had in the past, before 2014. That's almost 1/3 of what you needed for the courthouse. The people of Massac County would like to know where it went.
So on this one here, it says July 14 through June 2015, that's that second sheet, is that correct?
Yes.
I just wanna make sure I have that right.
And they should be in order, each of the
Yeah, it looks like it is.
things are.
Yeah, it looks like at the top it says July 2014 through 2015 to June. That's where you come up with that 711,023 and 352,417. Is that correct?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
That, under this column here, you wrote July 2014 through 15.
Uh-huh.
These two totals, CTS .25 and CT at 352, that's 711. They came off the second page, is that where you came up with those totals? I guess.
That is your, next to the last sheet, the long sheet, next to the last one. Those are the two amounts that you received.
Right. So at the top it says July 2014 through June 2015. That's for that page, is that correct? Just trying to see here.
And you can look at the, March of 2000. March of the July 13th through the June 14th, the one amount jumped $51,000, and it has stayed up ever since then, but it was a huge jump in that month.
Yeah, that's when, I believe that's when we started receiving it. Before then, it was, for a month or two, it was going to JAPA. If you go down here and look at, well, you don't have it on this sheet, but if you had JAPA, it would show on that. Yeah, I got some more sheets here.
My short answer is gonna be day-to-day operations.
You're falling $500,000 short each year on day-to-day operations? Because it's an average of $558,000 a year that you've got more since then. So we've been falling $500,000 short on day-to-day operations.
I'm sure our budgets have grown some. Does that make sense?
$500,000 is a lot to grow.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Budgets are to be made and try to be kept. I mean, I work at a credit union and we have to answer to why our budgets aren't met. And if we're over a few thousand, we've got to answer to why that few thousand is, and this is $500,000 each year.
Since 14.
Yes, since 14. We're looking at $1.6 million since 14.
A little of it went to the roof, a lot of money,
I thought
but
that
a
was
small
a,
percentage.
I thought that was a, grant that
No,
he got.
no.
That was
But, yeah,
$100,000.
you're only talking 100,000, not
Right.
6. No, I wish we, well, I say I wish we could get some grants. Grant money's tapped into too, most of the time.
I understand this is extra money that you received, but just because there's extra money in there, you don't go out. We've known the court has needed money for quite some time. And you don't go and spend money on things that, just because we have extra money, go out and get it. You spend it on priorities.
I guess this $495,770 says since July 2012, 13 there's been an increase. What'd you base your baseline off of? I mean,
On which one?
the very bottom, you come up with this 1.6 million.
Uh-huh.
I guess I was looking at the far left where it says since July 2012-2013, there's been an increase of 495,770 and 1.1,180,000. An increase from what? What was the baseline? I mean, what
Okay,
was-
if you take, I went from 2010, July 2010, you add those 3 years, and
And
your
the
average is
average.
186,000. If you add then July 13th through, this one is, you've got an average of 309,000.
So you took the first three, July 10, 11, and 12, you added them up and divided by 3, that's your
Right.
average. Okay.
Right. And then come down and did 13, 14, 15.
Okay.
Because, I mean, there was a fluctuation, you know, if I'd have went by 12 alone, that was your lowest year in those 3, so I averaged the 3.
done.
Just studying.
I didn't realize it was such a increase.
What's the website you're using?
It's Illinois Department of Revenue. I can email it to you if you have an email.
I can probably
Yeah.
just Google it and find it.
It's kind of hard to get to the site that gets to that.
Interesting facts on there.
Yes, it is. And it shows every county what is dispersed to each one of them.
I think we're gonna have to study this.
I think one thing that needs to be looked at, if your house is in need of being fixed and you get $10,000 extra, you don't go buy a new car or something. You don't go spend it on something else, you fix your house, you know?
Yeah.
The courthouse was in need of fixing, and this money should have been allocated to that rather than, something else that hadn't been allocated to. Instead of $100,000 going to it. With this kind of increase in our budget, over the last 2 years, the residents need a tax cut on our property tax. You know, cause you're getting this much more money in, so, instead of asking for more money, we should be getting a property tax cut.
Oh, like I say, we're gonna check some records and all this, 'cause I can't
Do some
remember.
verifying.
I can't remember what we spent that on.
That's a lot of money not to remember what it was spent on. And my budget's a lot different, but if I spend $500, I remember what I spent it on. So, and my 500 is in comparison to this, and that's,
That's a lot of dollars.
yeah, a lot of dollars not to remember where it was spent at. So there's don't really know where that went to. You'll check into it?
I'm sure, you know, the audit, we get done every year, I mean, it shows our expenses and our revenues.
Oh, I'm not accusing anybody of that.
Sure.
That's not why I'm at all. But bringing up the audit, have another question. I've read some of the audit papers. I haven't went through all of them yet because they're quite lengthy.
Mhm.
But one thing they had mentioned is you are to tap into the unrestricted funds before you go into, or you're to tap into the restricted funds before you tap into the unrestricted. We've got $1 million in 911 fund. We've got, 911 dispatchers. Are they paid out of that fund?
No.
They should be. That is a fund that should be tapped into before the sheriff's fund is tapped into.
You know, in the past, it's been looked into, and I think they got an Attorney General's opinion that didn't agree with that.
Well, the auditors are telling you to tap into the restricted funds before you are to deplete the restricted funds before you tap into unrestricted. So,
Is there a million? I thought there was around 700,000 that account.
well, I'm not sure, but,
Okay. I thought it was around 700,000.
but still, the, 911 dispatchers and things like that, they, that's money that the sheriff wouldn't have to be out of his budget.
I agree.
You
I
know.
wish we could use it, and I think it was looked into, I think prior to Jeff being here. And I'm pretty confident we got an opinion on that we couldn't, but, we could revisit that, check with
I
state's
think that
attorney.
would be a good thing, because like I said, the audit papers say,
Mhm.
like I said, I haven't made it all the way through the audit, because
Right.
the one I was looking at was 70 pages long, so,
Mhm.
but that's one thing that they had said that should be done. Another thing, I was told, you hire a firm to come in and get the books ready for an audit,
That is correct.
and why is that?
Hmm.
The people working here should be able to get those books ready. If they're not capable of getting those books ready, then they need to hire some people that are capable, or lay off the ones that can't do it and just hire the firm to take care of it. Because that is their job, to get those books ready. I mean, I'm having an audit right now. I told them I'd be back in a few minutes, but I get those books ready.
Mhm.
I don't hire somebody else to come in to do it. That is my job, that's what I get paid for. That's what you do. When that's your job, you do the job to do, you get the books ready. We're kind of overpaying two different firms to do that. I don't know what they're paying this firm how much they're paying them to do it, but I know they're not cheap.
Yeah, that's true, they're not cheap. I forget the
I
name.
would say to the tune of $15,000 or $20,000.
Yeah, it's,
A lot of money.
I'd say that's cheap.
But that's about what it is.
Yeah, but
And I believe there's a law, a reason why we have to have two separate, because the bookkeepers cannot do the actual audit. They would be auditing themselves.
that's correct, but you don't need to have a firm to get the books ready for an audit. That's what I'm questioning. We-
Manpower, we don't have the manpower.
This should be a day-to-day operation. When you do your work, you're preparing those books along the way.
So manpower, don't have the time.
Well, then there's something wrong, because my job is to prepare the books as I go along. I mean, I don't wait till the end of the month. I mean, there's some things, yes, my depreciation stuff I have to do at the end of the month. But every day, I'm doing my entries that I need to do.
Well, we do too. But we aren't accountants per se, we're not CPAs.
But that's the whole thing. That's why you're being audited, because you're not a CPA. That's why you bring an audit firm in to audit you, but it's kind of, you're double paying someone to get your books ready. You've got your manpower to do this work that's supposed to be done, and then you're paying somebody to come back in and do the work that they've already should have done, and then you're having an audit firm come in. So you're double paying people. If they're not capable of doing it, you need to hire people that are capable of getting the books ready as they go.
that's an elected office. Us three aren't in charge of telling her how to run her office.
You're in charge of putting the money out for it.
We can do a budget, but I mean, we're not, we don't tell people how to run their office. It's the limitations we have.
You can limit the money that goes into that
Mhm.
office.
We could do that.
Yeah, because like I said, this 15,000-20,000, whatever it is, to get the books ready, that's 15,000-20,000 that should have been taken care of by the ones that are in there. That's about all that I've got for questions. When might you have an answer on what this money has gone to?
That's a board question. I mean, I'll look into it as well. You want Jeff to call you and have him come back? Okay.
That would be fine.
He's the chairman, so we'll just have him to call you.
Okay,
That'd be all right.
that'd be fine.
Okay.
I may have more questions by the time that comes up.
That's your right.
But like I said, I'm looking through the audit papers, and I haven't got through it that far, so.
You just leave your number with Jeff there.
Well, I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Nancy Parker.
No.
No, so I sure don't have a problem with it.
I know, that's how I remember the name.
Well, I kinda thought so. Have you all got any objection?
Well, he recommended, didn't he?
She was recommended, but I can't remember.
St. Nine.
She's the resident, correct?
Yeah. Put Drive's place, I think.
Is it pretty many?
Yes.
Show me's afterwards.
Every other Friday.
You can sing karaoke for them.
That's right.
You bust out the oven for them.
Did you listen to Outlaw Hour?
Outlaw,
He's too young to know what that is.
Oh, really?
Outlaw Hours?
Outlaw Hours on WKYQ? I'm married to Cactus Jack.
Oh, I'm married to Gracie not married to,
Oh.
dating
Holy moly!
Gracie
Merry
Hopper
Christmas.
on Froggy.
Oh, okay.
So we have that,
Gracie Hopper.
Gracie-
Hoppy because of Froggy, I guess. Hoppy.
Gracie Hopper, yeah,
Hopper.
because of Froggy.
Gracie Hopper.
I listen, I don't like country, but I listen because I like her, so. I just said white. Oh my God.
Are you getting the hives over there?
Oh, geez.
Usually when I mention it too, it breaks up.
Is that in Murray? Is that where they're at?
Murray, yeah.
Yeah.
Gracie. Is that really your first name?
No, her name's Ashley.
Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like country, but you listen because you like her.
Yeah, well, be supportive. She doesn't like the news, but she watches when I'm on. So.
It's crazy the things we do, isn't it?
I was watching that show with Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
the
that
other
was
night.
trouble, that get us into the process.